Good morning. It's day 23 of my 90-day transformation. And last night I was talking to my fiance a little bit about my YouTube channel and what I'm doing. And I'm like, at a certain point I said to him, you don't understand why I'm doing this. And truthfully, he doesn't understand a lot of the things I do or why I do them. But I explained something to him last night about why I'm doing this. And yes, I am trying to have a YouTube channel. But when I tell you, you'll probably laugh. And, sometimes I think I'm very fortunate to have a fiance that loves me, gets me, and doesn't think, he does think I'm cray-cray, but he doesn't think I'm crazy when I talk about blue energy. And neither do most of my friends. And so last night I explained to him that I started these videos because I want to share the blue energy. And when I explain the why of it, some of you very well may think I'm nutty, and I'm all right with that. I started meditating when I was around 20, and then for that entire time, I always went to a sanctuary that I had built during my marriage, and it was where I had my honeymoon, and I walked down this boardwalk, or up this boardwalk, into this sanctuary room where I would connect with my spirit guide. And, and that was where I meditated and went to every single time I meditated for probably 20 years. Or I'm not sure, but for a very long time. Then after my divorce, I spent 6 months where I wasn't able to meditate. And it was because that sanctuary that I had created in my mind was built around my honeymoon and where I spent my honeymoon, and I couldn't be there anymore. It no longer was the place that gave me peace. So I spent months having a mental block on meditation, and then one day my spirit guide led me, and the entire beach area was dark, the boardwalk was dark, everything was dark in my mind. And she said, you need to walk through the darkness to get through this. So I walked up the boardwalk in the dark and went into my imaginary sanctuary in my mind, and she opened a door on the other side that was filled with beautiful flowers and colorful items. And there was one table in the room that was filled with bottles of blue liquids, like a chemistry lab, and one side that was filled with red liquids. And she said to me, Patty, the red liquid, the red energy is more powerful. The red energy is the negative energy, the negative people in your life, the negative things. And the blue energy is the positive energy, the good energy. So I want you to surround yourself with blue energy and people with positive energy, and limit your time around the negative energy. And when you do have to be around it, because you do in this world, come back to this place, this beautiful place in your mind, and have a cup of this blue energy. Now, this might sound like a crazy story, but I've had quite a few parallels since I've had this meditation, since I've started talking about the blue energy. And I won't get into that, but I've shared some things that have come across as far as how rare blue is in nature. And so I think that the color blue is significant, at least to me, and it represents positive energy. So at any rate, my spirit guide has been telling me, you need to share the blue energy with people. And I'm like, I don't want to share the blue energy. It's embarrassing, and people are going to think I'm nutty. So when I first started talking about blue energy, I'm like, all my friends are going to think I'm crazy. But when I discovered this, that most of my friends get it, and most of my friends appreciate me and appreciate the blue energy, and understand that it's about being positive, about spreading positivity in this world. So yesterday, I talked to my fiance about that, and I said this was my calling when I started this video and started my blog, was to share the blue energy and the hope. So to add to this, and this video may be long, and I'm sorry for that, but I meditated this morning, and yesterday my plan was, I'm going to talk about what's your kryptonite today. That was what I felt like I should talk about, what's your kryptonite, and I was going to talk about my digital media addiction. But instead, when I meditated, my spirit guide and God, I don't want to combine the two. I feel that my meditation and my spiritual life are all part of how I share my faith and my belief in God. But she said to me, if you want to be successful, if you want your transformation to be successful, you need to be spirit-led, and you need to listen to what you hear during meditation. You need to share it. So that's where I'm at today. And she told me to talk about something different. So a lot of you guys know that about a year or so, a little more than a year ago, my brother, who has autism and potentially schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder, left his apartment and disappeared, and we have not heard from him since. I suspect that he is not alive anymore. I have reason to believe that he may have attempted suicide, although I do not believe that was his intention in his mind, but he was definitely having some delusions and he disappeared. And that has been a really hard thing for me to deal with. So this morning, or yesterday, my sister informed me that my nephew is in the ICU. Sorry. But my nephew is a meth addict and a bit of an asshole. And in my family, I have a lot of toxic people, a lot of mentally ill people, and a lot of assholes in my life. One of the things my sister told me was a mantra for her, and I'm not sure what inspired it, and it may have been me, but one day her mantra was, cherish your family and friends while they're still alive. So this morning when I meditated, and I'm sorry I'm crying, most of you know I cry really easily and cry a lot. This morning when I meditated, the calling, the burden on my heart was, love your toxic family and friends while they're still alive. Well, today I'm going to try something new, and I'm going to try to edit 2 videos together because I just started crying there, and that's not what I wanted to do with this video challenge. So I'm going to develop a new skill today. I'm going to trim some of videos and splice them back together, but I feel very, very, very strongly spirit-led to talk about this. What I got from meditation today was to love your toxic family and friends while they're still alive. I don't know how many of you have family members that have a drug addiction, that are alcoholics, that are borderline bipolar, schizoaffective, but I have a lot of them. And, you know, one of the things everyone teaches is to just cut these toxic people out of your life, that you don't need to be everybody's support system, that you need to set boundaries. And I'm 100% in agreement on setting boundaries and taking care of yourself. But I believe one of the biggest problem in our country isn't political. I believe it's mental health and alcoholism and addiction. I think those are our biggest issues. They destroy families, they destroy lives, and they take more American lives than wars and all the other things we are concerned about, but yet we don't do anything about it. So this morning, what was on my heart, and even though this whole mission for me was to talk about productivity and goals, my spirit guide has reminded me to stay humble, and that everything you have in your life can be taken from you in a minute, and life is short. And my sister's message of cherishing your family and your friends while they're still alive is really strong today. So my challenge to you for today is, if you have a toxic family member that sucks the life out of you, love them a little more today. Cherish your toxic friends and family while they're still alive. And I'm sorry for crying, but that's the way it's going to be today. Thanks for all your support and listening. I'm going to have an awesome day. I've got a lot of goals today to get done today, and the crying's over. Workout's next. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. I'd appreciate a like, a share, a comment, and if you're getting something out of this, I'd really appreciate your feedback in the comments. Thanks, guys.